music business, women had to act like men.
How far do you take it?
I am a woman. I deserve to be in this room.
Method Man, RZA, I mean all of Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang created a throne for me.
How the fuck did you get these guys to see you as an equal?
Oh, the men can be messy as fuck. I don't look like everybody else. I don't sound like everybody else. I am here to upend that expectation. The lesson that I learned, Jules, and what I would love every woman who watches this podcast to understand is...
Sophia Chang is a trailblazer. She was the very first Asian woman in hip-hop. She was there in the 80s and 90s when hip-hop exploded. She was the manager for Wu-Tang Clan. She managed RZA's label, and she worked with artists like D'Angelo, A Tribe Called Quest, E40, Joey Badass, and so many more. In this episode, we try to figure out how she, a petite Korean woman who grew up in Vancouver, Canada, and studied French literature in college, then moved to New York City and became a trusted advisor to Wu-Tang Clan and a pillar of the hip-hop community. After you listen to this episode, go read her memoir, The Baddest Bitch in the Room, and enjoy this episode of the OK Sweetie Show with Sophia Chang. Okay, sweetie. Okay, sweetie. Okay, sweetie. Okay, sweetie.
Okay, sweetie.
The OK Sweetie Show. Another thing I'm curious about for you, but that I don't really want to talk about on the podcast because I don't think it's the most interesting, but so maybe I shouldn't bring it up. But if your job was done today, how much you'd have to think about social media and all that bullshit?
If my job as a manager or managing artists? Meaning how much I would think about their social media
I think
or mine?
The difference of all of it, when discovering artists and stuff, when you're doing A&R.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I would find it much less interesting.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's way less interesting because it's all about metrics and data. Yeah.
Kind of soul-sucking.
Yeah.
So, you are a senior in high school in Vancouver. You hear Grandmaster Flash's The Message. Take me back to that moment.
I was in the lunchroom and there was a turntable and there was this Greek kid and he was known for always going to the record stores and getting the hottest new records. And I remember him pulling out this 12-inch and putting it on. And right away, just from the opening sounds, I immediately went, this is different. This is different. And then the lyrics come in and the voices and the bass and the beat, and it just kind of hit me in the solar plexus. I had a near visceral response to it. I had a very intellectual response because I'm listening to the lyrics. And I've always been into literature. I'm a language major, so I really like words, Jules.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm listening to the words and I'm going, oh my God, this is storytelling. This is cinematic. This is completely different than anything I've ever heard. And then when you put that on top of the beat, because I also all really love dancing. So then my body responds to it as well. And it just completely turned my life around. Everything would be held to that standard of storytelling and poetry, that amazing sense of urgency. And it's really the thing that prompted me to move to New York.
And you didn't really feel like you had a place in hip hop?
Absolutely not. I was a yellow girl in a white world who wanted to be white. And that made me insecure. That made me self-loathing. Because I can't change my phenotype, right? I can't not look Asian. I can't not be Asian. So what can I do? I will compensate in other ways.
Getting into the hip-hop community, Wu-Tang having so much fucking pride and unfuck-with-ability in themselves, do you feel like that just spilled into you at all?
Oh, for sure. I think hip-hop in general, but Wu-Tang in particular... I never would have had this language back in the day, Jules. But when I look back and I think about how hip-hop hit me, the first hip-hop video I saw was Run DMC's King of Rock. And I was so taken by how completely self-possessed they were. And they had their arms crossed high and they had the power stance. And I thought, wow. Because there's a part of me that feels like that, but I never inhabit that in my body.
You can, but it's not
exactly.
there yet. Yeah.
And this gives me permission. This is the chamber. This unlocks it for me, right? And then being around Wu-Tang, who revered Asian culture so much, and then also the hip-hop community pouring into me gave me so much confidence. I suffered imposter syndrome. Who got that out of me? The community. No, Soph, you deserve to be here. You're supposed to be here. Come sit right here. Wu-Tang created a throne for me that I don't think anybody else inhabits and that nobody else has ever created for me, which is why I revere them and love and adore and respect them so much. And they made me feel and continue to make me feel so special.
I mean, we live in a world where like so much of the narrative is that guys and girls can't be friends, which I think is so stupid, and like you're just missing out on so much love and joy and connection.
Don't you think that's Hollywood? I think a lot of that is Hollywood. Obviously, it's the When Harry Met Sally paradigm,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the only way that men and women can be friends is if one of them is queer.
Right.
Right? So if you think about television, if you think about movies, whenever there is a character who is straight and single, if they have a friend of the opposite sex, they are always gay.
They're always gay.
They're always gay.
And if not, they're like they're best friends, and then they end up falling in love.
Yes, because that's all we want. Because we just, everything is about romance. Blah, blah, blah. Socially, I believe in being multi-hyphenates. I believe in spreading love. It's the Brooklyn way, right? Like making sure that we sustain our village.
And your village just happens to be fucking meth in there. Like I was like, every girl's dream, they just go through a divorce, and then they're just like 6'4", like powerful, like strong man to take care of me. It's so sick.
My village is made up of a number of different people, but I will say, Jules, that the most fortified and fortifying pillars of my village are Black feminists, for sure. And yes, of course, my village also includes Wu-Tang Clan. Like, there are times that when I'm feeling a certain way and I'm hurt or I'm hurting or I'm sad or I'm disappointed, sometimes I go to my girls, but there are sometimes when I want a man's embrace, virtual or not. And that man doesn't have to be a lover. That man could be Method Man.
Yeah.
Right? That man could be RZA. Like,
well, there's so much protection and safety in that.
Exactly. And it just feels like this is the place where I get to exhale.
Yeah.
This is the place where my neck is protected. You know, Wu-Tang were so, nobody more than Method Man were so protective of me.
Yeah.
Like, Soph is ours. And I know that would sound really gross to people. I
love that.
I totally appreciated that they claimed me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's so gross. No, sweetheart, I fucking love that they claim me. And they were like, don't fuck with her.
Yeah.
Don't touch her. Don't even look sideways at her, because she is our charge. We're her stewards. We take care of her. And that was incredibly powerful. Same thing with Chris Lighty, God rest his soul. He never said it explicitly, but he was somebody that you did not want to be on the other side of.
Right.
I will say that much.
Yeah.
And you didn't want to fuck with anybody that he cared about.
Was it like little sister vibes? Did any of them ever try to hook up with you?
No, it was simultaneously little sister and auntie.
Nice.
And there were some moments really early on, just because I was a straight woman in their space who was single, but that was never anything meaningful. It was way more sister and auntie.
So auntie meaning like you're taking care of them in terms of their
Yes.
career, and like, I mean, you guys are just, you
Yes.
take care of me, I take care of you,
Yes.
how it should be.
Absolutely. I go to the studio. I will make sure that they have food. I will bring food. I will be the one that goes to the bodega at 3:00 in the morning and pick up their blunts and their black and tan so that they can smoke weed and stuff like that. I always made sure that they were taken care of. I'm very much of a caretaker by nature. It is also how patriarchy raises us, is to be caretakers and caregivers.
Then you feel like a good woman. You're like,
I really love providing for them, because you're right, there was reciprocity as well.
yeah.
I think that if you just do that and you keep and being a people pleaser and just giving without ever receiving, then you just become a shell of a person.
Yeah.
Right? There has to be something that you get back. My mantra for myself and all of my friends and all of my relationships, including romantic ones, is parity and reciprocity. Parity and reciprocity. Is it ever going to be surgically exact? No, it isn't. But
What do you mean by parity?
parity is sameness,
Okay.
the same level, right? Not disparity, but parity.
Yeah.
So I like you as much as you like me. I try as hard as you, and you try as hard as me. I make as much of an effort as you make. I communicate as clearly as you do. That's parity. And reciprocity means that we do, it's really important to me that you come, right? Like all of the places where I want equality. I want parity and reciprocity for everybody. And I definitely felt that with Wu-Tang. They got a lot from me, and I got a lot from them. No question. So much of my social capital comes from the fact that I was closely associated with them. And I will never, ever, ever, ever forget that. I'll never diminish it. My memoir was going to be called Raised by Wu-Tang. Dead ass.
It does have a nice ring to it. Sophia Chang, Raised by Wu-Tang. It does have a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
One of the most compelling things to me about you is throughout your story, people really believed in you, sometimes before you even believed in yourself, and gave you these opportunities. A&R at Jive, GM of RazorSharp Records,
Right.
A&R admin at Universal Music Group.
Right.
Jobs that you said you felt underqualified for. What was it about you that made people want to give you opportunities?
I think, number one, I knew I was really fucking smart. I knew I was funny. I knew I had a sense of style. And these are all things that I cultivated to make me more confident. And the beautiful thing about confidence is that confidence begets confidence. And we can become more confident, Jules.
Like it's a practice.
Absolutely, it's a practice. The more I believed in myself and the more I kind of pushed boundaries, and I failed a lot. I failed plenty. The more confidence it gave me to keep going. So it's intelligence, it's competence, it's also that I really like people and I like interacting with people. I am also a heterosexual woman. I am Asian. I am thin. I am educated. And I'm conventionally attractive. So we all enjoyed this privilege, right? It would be very different if we looked differently. If I was grossly overweight, if I was disabled, if I was trans, all of these things would work against me when I walked into those rooms. But because I walk with genetic and social and cultural capital, it feels very different. Are those the only reasons? Of course not.
Regardless of being a woman in a male-dominated industry.
Yes, I think that the fact that I'm an attractive petite woman, Asian, for sure worked in my favor too.
Okay, this is like also something I'm so excited to talk to you about because you're a woman in a male-dominated industry. You're fashionable, you're stylish, you're attractive. People talk about, women in male-dominated industries. A lot of the time they talk about the barriers and all the things, but I would argue there's also some advantages. I'm just really curious about like using your femininity as a strategy. And you have this quote in your book. You say, as a woman, I use every tool in my arsenal to get my foot in the door and a seat at the table. Once I'm there, my goal is to have everyone saying, fuck, she's smart. What are the tools that you're using?
I mean, they're like weapons, right? My brains, my wit, my voice, how I speak, but also my beauty and my body. I'm a deeply embodied woman. When I walk into a room, people are like, who the fuck is that? You may not like me, but you will see me and you will be curious. This is crass and this is coarse, and I don't mean it literally, but I'd rather work with a man who wants to fuck me than a woman who wants to be me. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? I mean that men are basic. They really are.
They're easy.
And if they think you're pretty or sexy, they're like, They really want to listen to you. Women, because of patriarchy, a lot of us have been taught, most of us have been taught to be competitive with each other. And I'm sure you face this as well. Women that meet you and they're like,
yeah,
she's pretty, you know what I'm saying?
Just immediately girl on girl crime.
Right, and exactly, and that, again, that's what patriarchy teaches us, right? It's never about the player, it's about the game. It's a system that we were born into and that we were raised in.
Yeah, totally agree.
So when I meet those women that are competitive, I'm disheartened, because I would way rather be in sisterhood with you than in competition with you. And I also feel like, don't compete with me. You'll never win.
It's just an interesting conversation because I completely agree. I think that disavowing those strengths works against you, but then how far do you take it?
You test. Sometimes you're going to overstep. I don't know if I ever have, but I've made so many mistakes, I'm sure I have. Here's the thing. I came up in an era where, in the music business, where women had to act like men. Wear the suit, smoke the cigar, go to the strip bars, all that kind of stuff. I think for us to tell ourselves the way to succeed is to act like men is so diminishing of the power of women. We are so fucking powerful. So for me to say, let me just pretend I'm not a woman and let me act like a man, no, I'm going to act like a woman. Number one, I am a woman. And number two, it is potent. There is something really, really powerful about a woman that can be in her body, take up the space, and speak at the level that she wants to and demand to be seen. That's incredible to me.
And in your experience, because you also say in your book, someone told you to act like a white man. So that generally worked out in your favor? Because I would think that, you know, maybe there's fear around acting that way because you don't want to be seen as like a bitch or like, you know, there's such a difference of expectation there.
Acting like a white man was more about feeling entitled. I deserve to be in this room. I'm not going to let you silence me. You know, we don't silence white men like that.
Yeah.
We don't, especially if they're cishet.
We give them the fucking floor.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the microphone. You don't want it? No, please take it. So what I mean when I say to move like a white man, that means obviously not whatever negative stuff comes with that, but the stuff about being entitled to being in a space and feeling like I deserve to be heard. I deserve to be seen. I deserve to be respected. I deserve to have my voice carry and be listened to.
You're in these rooms. You're saying that you're comfortable using your sexuality in certain ways, which I fucking love. I feel like that's like not talked about enough. If I can flirt with the guy at the tire shop to get a discount on my tires,
yeah.
Hello, yeah. I'm obviously going to do that.
Yeah.
However, you have cultivated these amazing, intimate, deep relationships with so many like men. Method Man, RZA, I mean all of Wu-Tang Clan, D'Angelo, Chris Lighty, Joey Badass. And I remember in your book you talk about there was a guy who when you got the job at A&R at Jive, someone called someone and was like, Soph can't start fucking the rappers. Yeah. So you had to make that
was a conscious decision
to not fuck them so that they see you as like a friend. Because also in my experience, like in the snowboard world, guys are looking at me as generally someone they want to hook up with and they give me attention, or I'm their friend's girlfriend and then we like kind of hang out. Yeah. Otherwise it doesn't get past like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
So how the fuck did you get these guys to like see you as an equal?
It's always a tightrope, Jules. It's not easy. Look, I should have been able to fuck whoever I wanted and it never have been an issue. That is not the world we live in yet. I was very clear. This was a conscious decision that if I started fucking rappers, and I could have, it absolutely would have scarred me. I absolutely would have walked around with a big letter on my forehead, and I always would have been the woman who fucked A, B, C, or D. I have no question about that. I know women who walked around with that stigma. How did I do it? I was really good at my job.
So it was work first?
Absolutely.
First you come in, correct,
yes.
you do your job as well as you can, and they know they can't fuck with you.
I would say that to anybody at any job. Look, few of us get into an entry-level position and want to stay there. Most of us want to ascend. Get the baseline of your job done. Excel at that, and then you can stretch a little bit beyond it. I also, not only did I not fuck the artist, I've never been drunk and I've never been high. So if you ask any of the artists that I've ever worked with, is so fun. They don't see me as the fun girl.
Because at work you're getting shit done.
And even when I wasn't working, even if I'm not working and I go see Wu-Tang backstage at a show, they're not like, party time!
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not a party girl, right? I don't like clubs. I don't like bars. I don't parties, all that shit. I don't like that anymore. But I love to commune and gather and build with people.
What's the never getting high or drunk thing? Just being out of control? Is that a control thing?
For sure, part of it is control. And part of it is that I have so much energy and I experience joy so capaciously that I don't feel that I need to enhance that feeling. And I just get a lot of joy out of everything. And I really like feeling.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of my feelings.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of being sad or angry or disappointed. I think that going through those chambers, whether they're positive or negative emotion, helps build my character, and it helps me figure out how to cope with these things, and it builds my resilience.
I remember, you know, at times when I've been in the throes of heartbreak, but feeling like I'm so grateful that I get to experience the full range of human emotion.
How'd your heart break?
I mean, I like am an attachment girly. Like, you talk about value and attachment. I've been single for the past 2 years, so I've learned a lot, but I really love love, and would just let anyone like become like,
so
and then they would break my heart, and that's okay.
Do you have insecure attachment style?
Yeah, I think historically, yeah. Now I don't think I would, because I've worked on it a lot.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. So you're saying that you have the tendency, because you are a hopeless romantic, because you love being in love, that is a modality that you slip into easily.
Oh my God, yes. It was like I didn't even want to date people, and then they would want to date me, and then I'd be like, wait, actually, I think I like love you. Wait, actually, I think you're the one. You know, I give them everything.
That's not avoidant. What is that attachment style? It's insecure, anxious.
Yeah.
Insecure, anxious. I've taken that test, and I have a secure attachment style. But again, a lot of this comes down to confidence.
Yeah.
So a lot of it, Jules, was being great at my job, being smart, not being messy. And again, this isn't fair. Oh, the men could be messy as fuck.
Yeah.
They could do whatever the fuck they wanted.
And they're like praised for it.
Totally. Yeah, it's all about the sexual double standard,
Yeah.
right? The player versus versus the hoe and all that kind of stuff. But I just made sure that I got it done. And I think the other thing that is really hard to get is trust. I would say that every artist I've ever known and that I've ever worked with would say unequivocally that Sophia Chang only ever did what was in our best interest. When they know that, you get a lot of space that other people wouldn't get, Jules. Because if they think Sophia's cutting a side deal, right? Sophia's having this conversation, she's not really doing this, she's going to pocket a little bit of money, then that creates a distance that is very hard to close.
Was it fake it till you make it? Did it take a while to cultivate that?
I don't think I would say I faked it until I made it. The lesson that I learned, Jules, and what I would love every woman who watches this podcast to understand is, it is very likely that at some point you will suffer imposter syndrome. It's really common. That's what happens in patriarchy. It's what happens with misogyny and sexism. Where I landed on it was, if the person who was hiring me or recommending me says you can do the job, I trusted them. They see something, Sophia. You don't know this industry. You don't know advertising. You don't know fashion. You don't know how to do A&R. You don't know how to do A&R admin. But if the people who are hiring, who have seen the people before you, see that you can do it, I believe them more than I believe the doubt in my head.
And I feel like, you know, my circumstances are obviously different, but like I'm trying to figure out who I am too, and I don't feel like I fit any prescribed notion of like who I should be, so it's just a little bit confusing sometimes.
I like not fitting the prescribed notion.
Yeah, you're so freaking good at it.
But for you too, I like upending expectations, because the expectations are usually oppressive. The expectations of the dominant culture, they're meant to, and they effectively do keep us down. They are oppressive. So I think when we step into spaces where we don't, quote unquote, belong, I think it's an act of defiance. I think it's an act of courage. I think it's an act of fearlessness. And in being that, I also think that we model behavior for other women, and that's really important. I thought that a lot throughout my career, just later, not when I was young, but later I thought about, people are watching. Not that everybody wants to see what Sophia Chang is doing, but just in terms of...
We do. We want to see what Sophia Chang is doing.
People are paying attention. You know, for my memoir, I was interviewed by this really smart, really smart Indian-American filmmaker and comedian. His name is Hari Kondabolu, and he grew up in Queens. And he said, you know, Sophia, I wish I had known that in the center of the music that was very formative in my life as a 13-year-old kid growing up in Queens, me and all of my boys listening to hip-hop, that there was an Asian woman. I wish I'd known there was an Asian woman. it really would have made a difference. So for me, Jules, I was like, just, don't look at me, don't. And I was being modest and I was being humble, and I realized that maybe I paid a price for that because I could have gotten further if people had known me. But I also think I could have expanded people's imaginations on what we could be as Asian Americans. I was Asian Canadian at the time, but as Asian Americans.
Mm-hmm. So your titanium confidence, your fearlessness, your lack of self-doubt, is that actually so true to the way that you are thinking? Is there noise in your head? And if so, how did you block it out?
Confidence is a blend of nature and nurture. A lot of it is nurture. It is really hard not to walk with a lot of fucking confidence when you have people in the world that uphold you that way and uplift you that way. Like when people watch your podcast, I'm sure there were doubts, like I'm in this very male milieu and I'm in a space where I don't look like everybody else and I don't sound like everybody else. But then there were so many voices saying, you're so fucking good at this.
Yeah.
I love this conversation. I've never heard anybody ask that question. That gives you more confidence. It makes you better at your job, which makes you more confident. Again, it's a virtuous cycle.
Yeah, every doubt that I could have ever had, every negative thought that I could have ever had, I've had. And I have the same thing where like people believed in me before I kind of believed in myself. But then it gets tired. You're like, okay, fucking shut up. Like people like grow up. People believe in you, so just go for it.
Yes. Yeah. But that's not fair. Are you saying to everybody, to women who doubt themselves, just go for it? That's not easy for everybody.
No, it's really hard, which is why I like to have these conversations, because it's like, okay, actually tell me like how to go for it. And then you do, and you feel good for an hour, and then you like,
no,
again, self-doubt and all
but
that
hold
stuff.
on to that.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you feel good, train your brain to sit in that place. Think about, what is your somatic response to that, Jules? Not just what you're thinking. How do you feel? How did your body feel? Actually, Sophia, it was interesting. I kind of sat up straighter. You know, I took deeper breaths. I walked straighter. Whatever it is, your body has a somatic response to whatever it is you're feeling. When you feel good, clock it and remember what it feels like in your brain and in your body, and then hold on to it and don't let it dissipate.
Cultivate that familiarity. I've been in situations where I'm going out for the night, I'm not feeling confident, but then I'm like, well, I felt so fucking confident and unfuckable so many times that I know how it feels. So I can just tap into that.
Call it back.
Yeah.
Call it back. Because it doesn't disappear, Jules.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like I will never feel that way again. You know it will come back. And then I think the neuroplasticity, I think the practice of it is to hold on to it for longer. And tell yourself, I can reside here. It is very easy for me to slip into the naysayer. I call her negative Nancy.
Is it easy for you?
No, in general.
Oh, I was going to say.
I call her negative Nancy, that bitch in our heads that's like, you look fat, you look ugly, you're stupid, you're not funny.
Was that ever what your mind was
Never.
like? Wow.
Never. The most I felt was when I wanted to be white. I never felt stupid, but I did not feel attractive. I never felt ugly, but I didn't feel attractive. But that went away pretty early. But my mother also said that I was born with an exceptional amount of confidence. So that's the nature part, right? And then I just continued to nurture it, and I knew that I wanted more out of life.
Yeah.
I knew that I didn't want to be, here is the box that you get to exist in, and you never get to step outside of it. There is no box that can contain Sophia Chang. There isn't. I've made sure of that. And I think that's the case for all women. They just have to find it. I also think that every woman is the baddest bitch in the room. I want her to find it. I want her to see her beauty and realize her power. Find her center. Find her center.
How would you say someone do that if they're just starting out today?
The list. Write down that list.
It's like hot girl walk type thing.
It's just a list, and put it in your phone. Write it on a piece of paper. What are the things you like about yourself? Oh, and love about yourself. You might only at first think of 3 things. What do I love about myself? I'm funny.
My knees.
Yeah, right. It could be little, but the great thing is, as you kind of move through the world, oh shit, wait a minute, here's this other thing I like.
Yep.
This is your center.
It's something I love so much about fashion too, because it's like, well, at least I know I'll always be well dressed.
There you go. I am fashionable. That's on your list.
Being accepted into hip hop, you can't dress like a fucking nerd. So, like, how much of it was dressing the part, and did that feel authentic to you? Were you conscious about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I was in this style for as long as I can remember. Literally since I was
It's so fun.
probably like 8 or 9. I remember being very, very much into what I wore. And, you know, we all dress like that. So was it a conscious decision because I wanted to fit in? No, we just all thought it was cool. My girlfriends and I, we all wore Carhartts.
Yeah.
We wore fucking tank tops and baggy jeans and Timbs. Like, we all wore Timberlands. And we all dressed like boys back in the day.
Which is my favorite fucking way to dress.
It's really fun. We all dress like that. And then I became much more feminine after I left the father of my children. And then I came way more into the outward femininity and sexuality.
There's a excerpt in your book where you talk about the moment that you're going to tell Ghostface that you and your partner are splitting up. You put on a powder blue halter dress with white Prada pumps. You talk about feeling feminine and almost like borderline wishing you didn't feel feminine because you're a hip hop show.
Yes.
Can you just tell me a little bit about the approach to femininity and masculinity that you have in your personal style and in just the way that you approach life?
I am very comfortable inhabiting very many different iterations of myself. And sometimes I am more feminine and sometimes I am more masculine. But I do think that the feminine is divine. I do think that the feminine is all powerful. I do think that the feminine is to be respected and revered.
By femininity, are you meaning like the way that you're actually presenting and what you're putting on your body? Or
I think
like
that. I think all of it, Jules.
Yeah.
I think how I speak, how I move. I think that we can play our femininity down or we can play it up. I don't mean like wearing not that a push-up bra would do anything for me. I don't mean it's like, let me just put out my cleavage and my ass. It's actually less about how much you show as how you move in through spaces. And for me, style is a huge part of how I express my femininity. A massive, massive part.
You say when you walk into a room, you want to walk into a room like you're 6 feet tall. How do you do that? Shoulders back?
Confidence, yeah.
Confidence.
Head up, head high, chin up, shoulders back. You know, you've seen people that kind of, they actually look like they want to take up less space.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen that a lot. And I'm sure that there are lots of people who have been taught take up less space.
Oh, yeah.
Namely women.
Namely women.
And I think it's really important that we take up all the space that we want. Sometimes we just don't want any attention. I completely understand that. But as a rule of thumb for me, I want to be seen because, not because I want the attention per se, but because I want to be acknowledged. Because women, and particularly women of color, have been so fastidiously erased by whiteness, by white supremacy, by patriarchy, I refuse to be somebody that just says, okay, just don't pay attention. I don't want to be that person. You know, when I wrote my memoir, my brother said, what you're doing with your book, Sophie, is you're simply asking the world to imagine that you exist.
What a concept.
You are simply asking the world to imagine that you exist. I want you to imagine that I am a woman in the snowboarding world and that I know what the fuck I'm talking about and that I can engage in a conversation with you that you might think you can only have with a man. I am here to upend that expectation. You were busting myths, right? And you were upending expectations. And we need to do that. Now, that's not to say that everybody has to do what we do. There are plenty of women that do want to be smaller, do want to be quiet. I'm never, ever going to malign them. Mm-hmm. But for those of us who want to be bigger, who want to be louder, who want to take up more space, and who want to be seen and acknowledged, we should have access to those things as well. I think that if we are constantly, there's the boundary, and I'm going to stay way back here, Jules. I don't even want to get near, I don't want to get near there. I understand that. It's a very safe position and you don't expose yourself, but I also think that there's very little growth that happens. There's very little adventure. I would dare say there's very little love.
Yeah.
That happens. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. I believe that so wholeheartedly, that we really need to pursue the things that might not be easy. And as we get closer, we get more confident.
Like, which you have such an abundance mindset. I know that that's kind of a term that's thrown around, but like you said in your book, a relationship doesn't work out, there'll be another one. A job doesn't work out, there'll be another one. But I feel like that's not how people generally like operate.
I have an attitude of amplitude. If you disappoint me or if things don't work out, I'm not going to freak out because I know there's somebody else out there for me. I'm really a big fan of neuroplasticity, which is the notion that our brains can create new neural pathways so that we can start thinking differently.
Do you ever fuck around with like mushrooms or anything?
I don't, but I believe in it.
Because otherwise, isn't it pretty hard to change your neuroplasticity?
Oh.
Or is it just discipline? Like,
Yes, it's repetition.
do you do? I mean, I know that you have a lifelong kung fu practice.
Yeah.
Do you have meditation and stuff that goes along with that?
Yeah, Kung Fu is part of my meditation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a movement meditation.
Yeah. You're so smart. In Chinese, it's Dongchan and Budongchan. Dong means movement, so it's moving meditation and non-moving meditation. So it's both of them. But I actually do believe in psilocybins and all that. I think that people should definitely safely explore that. I wouldn't. It kind of scares me, but I do think it's brilliant.
So we named our show the OK Sweetie Show.
I love that.
Because to us, it's like moments where you've been dismissed, condescended to, like, okay, sweetie. So we want to ask, what's your OK Sweetie moment?
Oh, what's my OK Sweetie moment? Oh.
Because we did talk a lot about people giving you opportunities and stuff, but times when maybe people...
Okay, let me think about a time where someone was condescending and diminishing and underestimated me. I was in my gym locker room, and I had a locker, and this woman had spread all her shit across the bench. It's okay, we've all done it. And so I asked her to move it, and she didn't move it, and then I moved it, and she got really mad, and she goes, "Well, you're a silly little bitch, aren't you?" And I said, "What'd you just call me?" And she said, "You're a silly little bitch." And I don't think she knew who she was fucking with. And then I stood up, and then I'm Method Man. Now I'm 6'4", right? Now I'm 215 pounds, and I got right in her grill, and I stood like as close as I could get to without touching her. And I said, "Say it again. Say it again." And I said, "You had all your shit spread out. I asked you politely and you didn't do it. Now you want to call me a silly little bitch?" I said, "Say it one more time. Fucking say it again to my face." She was like, "I'm going to go tell management." And I was like, "Let's go. Bitch, let's go." I followed her up the stairs. Now, at my gyms, everybody fucking loves me. Everybody knows me. I'm in there 6 days a week, 3 hours a day. They all love me. They all give me whatever I want. And so she's standing there and she goes, "I want to complain about her. She blah, 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 blah." And I said... And so the manager sees me, and he's looking at me, and he's looking at her, and he's just nodding because he's got to do this. This is his job. And then she talks, and then I said, "She called me a silly little bitch." And his face was like, "Oh." Okay, he was like, "Yeah, that's
also like, you guys are grown adults. Like, what am I going to do?"
Exactly. Like, what? And guess what? She quit the next day. I was like, "Bitch, this is my house. You're
a silly little bitch now.
You're in my house." "Oh, you're a silly little bitch, aren't you?" And I thought, wow, God, that's your response to me. Also, bitch, read the room.
Yeah, like baddest bitch.
Right. You want to come up against me? That's an example that I can think of. But otherwise, because of my confidence, Jules, because my presence is commanding, because of how I move, because how deeply embodied I am, I rarely get underestimated. And I know that I do, but I don't hear it.
It's just fucking epic to hear that from a Korean woman. Like, just so sick. Like, you can do anything if you just have the fucking confidence.
It's not to say that I'm not underestimated. I'm sure I am.
But they
don't. People, I was thinking about that. Like, I was reading the question, and I remember going, fuck, I don't know the last time that somebody doubted me. I mean, the last person that doubted me was myself.
Right. Which also can be a good answer to the question. This is our rapid fire segment called Method to the Madness.
I love this.
The beginning of the Method Man song, what torture method would you add?
Oh, ooh.
Mine would be I would give someone a UTI and then all the clinics are closed and Azo's out of stock.
Mine would be that I cook a Korean feast for you and you can't eat it.
That's good. That's good. Who is one artist from the past that you hope this generation will listen to?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Old Dirty Bastard, God rest his soul. Because he's not even here to really keep his legacy alive. I mean, his son, Young Dirty Bastard, does.
No way. Does his son rap in his name?
He does. He actually does his verses on stage.
Cool. What's your karaoke song?
I've never done karaoke.
I feel like you would love karaoke.
I do too. Noraebang. I know. It's
Maybe tonight we'll go for karaoke.
It's very un-Korean of me. But if I had a karaoke song, what would it be? It would probably be a hip-hop song.
So you are a master negotiator. You learned from Riza, who's also a super master negotiator. What's one thing listeners should know about how to negotiate well?
Always let them pour the first drink. What do I mean by that? They make the first offer. You don't always have the power for this, but when you can, when they say, well, Jules, how much would you get paid for that? Well, what's your budget? Always come back with what's your budget. Because it is entirely possible that you say to me, $2,500. I have a budget of 10.
Yeah.
You could have made 4X. Women are really bad at negotiating. Always let them pour the first drink. Here's the second one. I don't remember where I heard this, but it's genius. The pig gets fed, the hog gets slaughtered. What does that mean? That means that you want to ask. Don't be too greedy. Because if you are egregious in your ask, the deal will be killed. I've been egregious in my ask because I want the deal to be killed.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's me basically saying, fuck you, I don't want to be in business with you. What is it? It's $1 billion.
Yeah. Double it.
Yeah, exactly.
Your go-to outfit to feel confident and powerful.
This.
Fuck yeah.
First season Aliyah. Absolutely.
Your go-to hype song before a big moment.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
We went over this a little bit, but one thing a woman can do to be the baddest bitch in the room.
Write down the list of the things that you love about yourself and then ask your friends what they love about you.
And then one takeaway the sweeties, which are our listeners, will get from your upcoming book. Just to let everyone know, Baddest Bitch in the Room is a great fucking read.
Thank you. Now available on Audible and all fine booksellers near you. Yes, my next book is called Sex Forward. It is a phrase that I coined that is my brand of feminism. And Sex Forward, it is a book about dating, sex, and pleasure. It is written for women, but I want men to read it as well. The thesis is, and it seems radical, but it shouldn't be, is that I'm asking women to center ourselves. I don't think we've been taught that. Another word that I came up with is man-centering. We center the man's experience all the time. It's not my fault. It's not his fault. It's patriarchy.
Without even thinking about it.
Absolutely. We haven't even been raised. In a two-parent heterosexual household, who does all of the household stuff, all the cleaning, all the chores, picks the pediatrician and picks the dentist? It is almost always the woman. I just want this to be equal. When I say that I want women to center ourselves, I don't mean we're suddenly the queen and the man, the husband is my subject and he's just got to take care of me. I just want parity and reciprocity.
Yeah.
But in order to get to parity and reciprocity, we have to decenter the man and center us.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, we could talk about this for hours. It's like asking for things. I mean, it all comes back to like confidence. Can't wait for that book to come out.
Yeah. The book's going to be amazing. I'll come back and talk to you about it.
Fuck yeah, I can't wait for that.
Get an advance copy.
Hey! Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you. This was fantastic.
Okay, sweeties, thanks for making it to the end of the episode. You know what you can do for us other than just be your best, brightest, most fabulous, chic self? Do us a little solid. Like, follow, comment, subscribe, rate, share with your friends, put it on your socials, send to your ex, send to your mom, whoever you want to reconnect with. It feels like a great opportunity to send them the OK Sweetie Show. Slide in our DMs. If you have a guest suggestion, slide in our DMs. We want to have a relationship with you, sweeties. What are the other things people can do with a podcast? Send it to your dog. Send it to your pet horse. I don't don't know what people are into. Just send that shit out. Tell everyone how amazing it is, how much you learned, how inspired you're feeling. Like, follow, subscribe, comment. XOXO, sweetie girl.